There's a certain level of pride that comes with having a dad who thinks he's the funniest person on earth. But when your dad takes dad jokes to an extreme level, pride quickly turns into mortification. My dad is the self-proclaimed king of comedy in our family, and he'll do just about anything to get a laugh. But last Saturday, he took things way too far. It all started innocently enough. My best friend, Jenny, was coming over for the weekend. We hadn't seen each other in months, so we were excited to hang out, watch movies, and catch up on all the gossip. I made the mistake of telling my dad she was coming over, just a casual mention in passing. But to him, this was an invitation to put on his comedy hat. Jenny showed up around noon, and everything was normal at first. We grabbed some snacks, headed to the living room, and started binge watching our favorite show. That's when my dad made his first appearance. He walked into the room wearing a pair of oversized sunglasses, a bright Hawaiian shirt, and flip-flops, despite the fact that we were indoors and it was raining outside. "Hey girls," he said in his best game show host voice. "Why did the Scarecrow win an award?" Before either of us could respond, he answered his own question with a dramatic flourish. "Because he was outstanding in his field." Jenny laughed politely, and I rolled my eyes. "Dad, seriously?" I muttered, but he was already on to his next joke. "What do you call fake spaghetti?" he continued, pausing just long enough for us to realize we weren't going to escape. "An impasta!" He laughed at his own joke, nearly doubling over, while Jenny and I exchanged looks. I knew what she was thinking. Is he always like this? Unfortunately, the answer was yes, and it was about to get much worse. After a few more groan-worthy jokes, my dad left the room. I thought we were finally in the clear, but I should have known better. About an hour later, Jenny and I decided to go out for a walk. As we stepped outside, there he was, my dad, standing by the front door, holding an enormous cardboard sign that read, "We'll tell jokes for free." But that wasn't even the worst part. As we walked down the driveway, we noticed something strange hanging from the mailbox. Upon closer inspection, we realized it was a pair of boxer shorts. Not just any boxer shorts, bright red ones with the words "Dad's Jokes Rule" printed all over them. And next to the mailbox was a speaker blaring a laugh track on repeat. I could feel my face turning beet red. "Dad!" I yelled, but he just grinned from ear to ear. Jenny was trying not to laugh, but I could see her shoulders shaking with silent giggles. "Oh, come on, it's just a bit of fun," my dad said, giving me a playful nudge. "Lighten up, it's good for your health." Speaking of which, why did the bicycle fall over? "Because it was too tired," Jenny finished for him, and they both burst out laughing. I, on the other hand, was ready to crawl under a rock and never come out. But the real embarrassment was still to come. We were planning to meet up with a few more friends at the park later that day. Jenny and I were hoping for a low-key hangout, but my dad had other ideas. As we were about to leave, he stopped us at the door. "Hold on a sec. Girls, I've got something special for you." Before I could protest, he ran into the house and returned with a bag. He handed it to me with a big grin. "I made these just for you two. Wear them proudly." I opened the bag to find matching t-shirts. They were bright yellow with giant bold letters that read, "Caution, highly flammable from dad jokes." I stared at the shirts, then at my dad, who was practically bouncing with excitement. "Aren't they great? You'll be the talk of the park." "Dad, no one's going to wear these," I said, trying to keep my cool. But Jenny, bless her, decided to humor him. She grabbed one of the shirts and put it on over her clothes. "It's actually kind of cute," she said with a smirk. I couldn't believe it. My best friend was siding with my dad. "Fine," I grumbled, pulling on the other shirt. "But if anyone asks, I'm not related to you." We headed to the park, and as expected, the shirts drew more attention than we wanted. Every time we walked past someone, they'd do a double take, snicker, or even outright laugh. It didn't help that my dad had secretly followed us and was lurking behind a tree, waiting to pounce with more jokes. When we finally met up with our friends, they all burst out laughing the moment they saw us. "Nice shirts," one of them called out. "Where'd you get them? The Dad Joke Hall of Fame?" I wanted to die on the spot. But then, as if the universe wasn't done with me, my dad made his grand entrance. He leaped out from behind the tree, holding up a toy microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for the greatest joke of all time. Why don't skeletons fight each other?" Jenny facepalmed, knowing what was coming. Because they don't have the guts, my dad yelled, and once again erupted into laughter. Everyone at the park was now staring, and a small crowd had actually gathered around, waiting for the next punchline. At this point, I realized there was no escape. My dad was in his element, and I was stuck in the middle of his impromptu comedy show. After what felt like an eternity, we finally managed to drag my dad back home. As we walked in the door, he turned to me and said, "You know, you should thank me. I just made your day a lot more memorable." I sighed, exhausted from the endless stream of jokes. Yeah, Dad, memorable. That's one way to put it. But as much as I hated to admit it, there was a tiny part of me that couldn't help but laugh at the ridiculousness of it all. After all, not everyone has a dad who's willing to embarrass himself and his family just to get a laugh. So, while I might never live down the extreme dad joker incident, at least it's a story I'll be telling for years to come. Hopefully, without the t-shirt.